Hello, everybody. I've got some exciting news. We are in the process of launching a faith-based credit union, and so we'd like to welcome you to fill out a survey that is going to be used in the application process. You can go to revivaltoday.com/credit union and fill that out. And thanks ahead of time for filling it out and being a part of this great journey in the world of finance.
This is Jonathan Shuttlesworth. The prayer that Jesus left us with was to pray for laborers to go out into the harvest field. If there's one thing this last school shooting showed us, if there was ever a time that America needed a new generation of workers in the harvest field, it's now. That's why we're raising up those ministers and workers at Revival Today Bible Institute. Our inaugural class is this September. If you've been moved recently in your spirit that I want to do something to affect my generation for eternity, this is the place to come and get trained. We start this September. You can apply today at revivaltodaybibleinstitute.com. I want you to join this army that God's raising up. The devil's not going to write the last chapter of your generation. You and many others are going to get raised up in the power of the Holy Spirit, go forth with the Word of God, and take one more run with the gospel of Jesus Christ. Will you join us? Apply today, revivaltodaybibleinstitute.com, and I'll see you this fall.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Check the Market. We're back.
We are back. Officially.
Last week was just was 4th of July.
It was a week. It
After
was a weird week.
For some reason, I had stuff to do every single morning.
Yep.
So, except for Fridays. But we're back. How's everybody doing? Lyric, Timothy, Wayne, Patrick, Jason, Zach, Diane, D&D Investments. Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to Check the Market.
I'm actually pretty excited for this morning because I almost got towed this morning. So aside from that was excitement in and of itself. But aside from that, we are going to be looking over some of those stocks that people commented over on Instagram of what they wanted us to look into. So I'm very excited to look into those.
We're going to look at Twitter today. We're going to do a deep dive on it.
Nice.
See what's going on there.
Excited
Got
about
a
that
bunch
one.
of articles, so
cool.
We'll take a look at that.
Awesome.
Lyric, you're coming. End of July. Awesome. We'll see you here. If you haven't made it out yet for the 40 Days of Glory, you're missing out. Make sure that you make it out. We got, 20 days left? July 31st. What's today?
18. Today's 22. Day 22.
So 18 days left. So make sure you make it out. All right. Mateo, what's going on?
Let's check it out. New England Journal of Medicine study demonstrates people who have received 3 COVID jabs recover significantly more slowly from a COVID infection and remain contagious for longer than people who have never been jabbed. So the very fact this is coming out from the New England Journal of Medicine was shocking to me, but they can't deny what's actually happening at this point. Same with the amount of COVID deaths. COVID deaths meaning deaths caused by COVID injections in my mind at this point, because everybody who's in ICU, the vast majority of those percentages are actually those who have been jabbed, if not 3, 4, 5 times at this point. So just interesting to note. Next. Were you gonna show this one? I love this tweet. Elon Musk.
I didn't see this.
No?
They said I couldn't buy Twitter, then they wouldn't disclose bot info. Now they want to force me to buy Twitter in court. Now they have to disclose bot info in court.
Which is great. It's like checkmate.
Yeah.
So not only will they have to disclose bot info, but they'll have to disclose the censorship and how they go about censoring different voices, their process of doing that. So that's something else that's of interest to me. And you're probably shadow banned. Are you shadow banned on Twitter? No?
I use Twitter. I don't tweet or anything.
You don't tweet or anything?
I just use it for news.
Ah, okay.
So I have like accounts that I follow, and then I just use it for news.
Just use it for, yeah. Fair enough. I'm excited to see what comes out of that court case. Next. Protests in China over frozen bank accounts. Don't be China. Go for it. Not happy.
Man,
Not happy people.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal at this point. Canada also, Rogers, one of the largest networks. There's a huge monopoly in Canada, but
That's what
their
my
network,
phone changes to when I'm in Canada.
Yeah. So their whole network went down in Canada for like, I don't remember how long it's been, but it was well over a day, 24 hours, and people were freaking out. They couldn't get into their bank accounts.
Yeah.
They, like everybody, and then everybody's like, oh, we need to go back to cash, everything physical. And I'm like, no duh. It's the best way to be. Next. LOL, they deleted it from the World Economic Forum. Sri Lanka Prime Minister. This is how I will make my country rich by 2025. And then, sorry, but we can't find the page you were looking for. So this is, do we have that second or the first picture there to see the date that was put out by? August of 2018. And of course, Sri Lanka it's kind of like a Venezuela situation in a way. But yeah, they're all going back. But Sri Lanka was tied in, their prime minister was tied into the WEF, intentionally starving out their people. It's the same pattern over and over again.
Yeah.
With all these different nations. So interesting to see. Next. How it started, how it was going in 2 search results. Oh, same exact thing. Next. Lewis Brockpool. A fire has spread rapidly at a picnic facility in Almelo Picnic in the Netherlands as a supermarket company funded by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation that delivers groceries with small electric cars. Go for it. This is also a supermarket that's like purely like plant-based. It's everything Gates wants. Which is kind of bizarre. So I have this theory. I want your opinion on it. That, like Stalin went in and he just took over the farms. And so now you see Netherlands 30 to 70% cut in greenhouse gas emissions.
Yeah.
Now they're like almost demanding that farmers sell their land to the government. At the same time, in the US, you can't do that. So my theory is that Bill Gates is buying up all this land. Same with China, which nobody seems to be talking about.
Yeah.
Buying up all this US farmland, and either they're going to keep it for themselves, for whatever they want to use it for, or they're going to sell it back to the government, use them as a conduit.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Plausible?
Possibly.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of people not selling their land.
Yes. Yeah, there was like a band of
because people are waking up to it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, even if they do sell it back to the government, what if we get an administration in that's then friendly to land sales and they sell government land back to the people again?
Yeah.
So
it's all just history repeats, rhymes.
Yeah. It is interesting.
It is interesting. Next. The asset grab of everything continues. # no farms, no food from Financial Times. English farmers to be paid up to £100,000 to retire. Scheme aims to free up land for new entrants as part of a post-Brexit shift in subsidy system. All over Europe, this is happening.
In the UK, though, I believe that the Queen could take all the land she wanted to because she basically owns the United Kingdom.
Basically, yes.
So if they really wanted to push that,
But
she could just say, well, now all the land belongs to me.
She could. It's just like in Canada, the Governor General could squash any law coming across her desk.
Yeah.
But they're never going to do it. That they have the power to, which I think is wrong. All my Canadian monarchists are going to be like up and roar, but whatever. Republic, next. Paul Joseph Watson. This much panic and alarm over some hot weather in summer, our country is now beholden to hysterical safetyism. UK heat wave national emergency could be declared as Cobra meeting called.
Are you serious?
Literally. And all across Canada. So I just wanted to point this out. This isn't just in the UK. This is all across Canada. I've been seeing it local stations here in the US. People are freaking out. The mainstream media is freaking out.
They have nothing to do. COVID is over.
Yes.
They have nothing to do.
They're so bored.
They're so bored. So a heat wave now needs to be like an emergency because they got so used to the adrenaline rush.
Yes.
From having been called in these meetings and things like that and being useful.
They
just go back to not being useful.
Exactly.
Take your government paycheck and just sit around.
Go
Please,
away.
Leave us alone.
Yes. Next. Jill Biden came to Texas to tell the Hispanic community that we're as, quote, unique as breakfast tacos. Sorry. The fact that someone
Wait,
actually...
is this real?
This is real. This is real. Unfortunately, the fact that someone actually approved her to say that line in her speech and that no one saw an issue with it is wild. They're going to be at a 5% Hispanic approval rating soon. This... it was so funny. Did I actually send in the clip? I don't remember if I sent in the clip.
It can't be real.
Oh, no. It was real. I watched it. I watched it come out of her mouth. I was losing it. So, dynamic duo.
Jill or Joe?
Jill. Jill. The supposedly competent one of them.
Wow.
The two. It's, yeah. There you go, folks. It just tells you what the administration thinks of Hispanic people. Next. New York City is not going back to normal. That's why so many people left already and more are leaving. This is a government poster in public. I went and saw it. I tried to look out where the source for this was, and it ends up this was a government poster. Like, how crude, how rude is that? I've never seen government put out something like that outside of a totalitarian regime.
Yeah.
But that's pretty brutal. Next. Bombshell report, Hunter Biden could face prostitution charges for transporting hookers across state lines and disguising checks to them as payments for medical services. Spent $30,000. Why are you laughing? In 5 months on a girlfriend experience. Why are you laughing?
I just think it's hilarious. Medical services.
Yes, medical services. That's what everybody classifies it as that.
Wow.
Yeah, so the hammer's coming down pretty hard after 4chan got hacked into his iPhone.
Yeah.
And, I don't want to talk about it, but stuff was shown. More stuff was shown than we want to talk about. Next. All you.
Peloton to outsource all manufacturing as part of its turnaround efforts. Let me check where they are. Pre-market. Up about 5%. Let's see it. Peloton said Tuesday it plans to exit all of its in-house manufacturing and instead will expand its current relationship with Taiwanese manufacturer Rexon Industrial in a bid to turn the money-losing business around. Peloton Chief Executive Officer Barry McCarthy said this is a step for the company to simplify its supply chain and fix its cost structure, which is a top priority. I wonder where they're manufactured, if they're manufactured in the United States. We believe that this, along with other initiatives, will enable us to continue reducing the cash burden on the business and increase our flexibility. Peloton shares climbed more than 6%, which they are currently trading, or they will be trading at open at 9:30, which market is open, 9:37. 934. But at the height in 2021, 4th of January 2021, they were trading at $170 a share. So
Wow.
that is a huge drop.
It's a huge drop.
And the markets are open. Let's take a look here. Dow Jones down 84 points. The S&P is down 2.8 points. And the NASDAQ is up 68 points. So the NASDAQ didn't have a good day yesterday, but it's back up now. Let's take a look at some others here. Oil is at $99 a barrel. 99.24.
Really?
Gold is down, silver's down $19. Let's take a look at our cryptocurrencies. The overall market's down. Bitcoin's at 19,852. Ethereum's at 1,071. XRP's at 31 cents. Cardano 43 cents. Solana $33. Dogecoin 6.1. It's been a wild ride. Even over the weekend, there's like some nice spikes there that you could trade. Avalanche $17. Stellar Lumens 10 cents. So some good. I think it's going to go down a little bit more even than where it's at now. All right, let's keep going. See what else we got. Twitter. So I took a look at this Twitter thing to see what's happening there, what's really happening, and we'll take a look at a couple of articles. And it was one of the stocks that I was asked to research on Instagram. And so I took a look at it, see if it's something that could potentially be a buy. Let's see it. Twitter said Monday in a letter that Elon Musk's bid to terminate his proposed $44 billion acquisition of the social media company is invalid and wrongful. The letter addressed to Musk's lawyers followed the Tesla CEO's declaration on Friday that he plans to scrap the deal over allegations that Twitter undercounts the number of spam accounts in the service, among other reasons. Which I saw in another article that Twitter, that the New York Times has like, how many? 53 million followers or something like that?
Yeah.
But if you look at their engagement, it's, it's incredible. Let me see if I can pull something up. New York Times has 53 million followers. Let's see if they have something that's like a day old.
Well, same thing with like the Washington Post. You look at like these establishment media companies, and they're all majority of them are bots. More than half of Joe Biden's followers are bots, and that we know for sure.
So here's one with Elon Musk, right? This is 12 hours ago. New York Times tweeted that Elon Musk disparaged Twitter executives, ridiculed its content policies. So this is like an article that the majority of New York Times readers would probably read.
Yeah.
53 million followers. It has 353 comments, 381 retweets, and 1,129 likes.
And that's like a hot topic button.
Yeah, I want to know how many. Which I have been I have unsubscribed from the New York Times, and I've been resubscribed to it before. I don't know how that happened. The same with The Economist.
Oh, always.
I don't know
always
how.
With them.
I get subscribed to them all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's happened to me in the past with different publications as well. It's really weird.
And I know I don't follow them. I'm following them again for some reason.
Yeah.
I've unfollowed them so many times.
Yeah, it's annoying.
So it's pretty crazy how they do that. Let's keep reading the article. Musk's attorneys claimed in a Friday's letter that Twitter breached its obligation related to the acquisition by allegedly failing to provide Musk with the information necessary to calculate the number of spam accounts on the service. However, Twitter attorney William Savitt of the law firm Wachtell, Lipton, Rosen, and Katz wrote in Monday's letter that Twitter has breached none of its obligations under the agreement. Savitt said Twitter, the agreement remains in effect. Continue. Twitter and Tesla shares since April 1st. So that's a pretty big jump there. As it has done, Twitter will continue to provide information reasonably requested by Mr. Musk under the agreement and to diligently take all measures required to close the transaction. Savitt added that Twitter reserves all contractual, legal, and other rights, including its right to specifically enforce the Musk party's obligations on the agreement. Attorneys advising Musk on this deal and related matters did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Twitter representative declined to comment beyond the filing. Twitter shares plunged 11% on Monday to $32.65. Let me pull them up here real quick. See where they're at. $33.28 right now, up 1.75%. Continue. Twitter shares sink 11% after Elon Musk terminates the $44 billion deal. Continue. Twitter shares sank in pre-market trade Monday. Shares of the social media platform closed down 11%. Tesla, where Musk is CEO, fell about 6.5%. So the attorneys, so this is all about the bots and fake accounts. Twitter, on the other hand, said that's given Musk the information he needs to assess its claim that spam accounts make up only 5% of monetizable daily active users. But here's the thing, monetizable daily active users.
Exactly.
So only 5% of monetizable daily active users, including its so-called firehose and unfiltered real-time stream of daily tweets. Continue. Brett Taylor, Twitter's board chair, said the company would pursue legal action in the Delaware Court of Chancery to enforce the agreement. Musk responded Monday by posting a meme mocking Twitter management over the botched deal. It features images of Musk laughing alongside the text, claiming the company is trying to force him to buy it in court. A Twitter spokesperson declined to comment on the meme. The two parties are likely set for a protracted court battle, according to lawyers. Musk could also be faced with paying a $1 billion breakup fee for walking away. Musk is one of Twitter's most popular users with more than 100 million followers. He used the social media site for everything from corporate communications for his various companies to bashing the very platform he previously wanted to acquire over the gripes with its contents, rules, and fake accounts. I don't think he doesn't want to he does not want to acquire it. I think he still wants to acquire it. He just doesn't want to pay what he initially said. Number one, the stock market's down.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make 100% sense anymore. But also, after looking at the internals for Twitter, I guarantee you that,
he knows
there's
there's a
some
better
shady
deal.
stuff going on.
Yeah.
As there is with all social media platforms.
Absolutely.
There's not as much engagement as they always say there is.
No. Absolutely
A
not.
lot of it is probably done by algorithms.
Yes.
Where there's engagement from algorithms, there's not engagement from actual human beings. Especially for a lot of these platforms that nobody even cares about. Musk is getting Twitter to be exposed for free. Yeah, in court. A lot of that will be exposed in court. I mean, some of it is going to be like corporate, like corporate secrets, so he probably can't expose that, but there is going to be some stuff that gets exposed. Continue. Brett Taylor, Twitter's board chair, said the company would pursue legal action. Already read that. Two parties. Musk, already read that. Continue. Richard Windsor, founder of the research group Radio Free Mobile, said Musk's desire to greatly renegotiate the $54.20 price he agreed to pay for Twitter was likely the reason for its exit from the deal. As of Friday, Twitter shares were worth 32% less than Musk's agreed deal price. While Windsor is not a Twitter shareholder, he said that if he was, he'd sell now. There's still a disconnect between the fundamentals and the share price. If you look at some of where the technology sector has gone over the last couple months, you could put Twitter's valuation somewhere between 13 to 15 billion, which is around roughly 50% below even where the share price is today. And Elon Musk's deal was $44 billion. So he's greatly overpaying for the company.
Yeah.
And I honestly think that this is going to get renegotiated and he's going to get it at a much better price because Twitter shares are going to keep falling until this deal goes through. Here's one of the things. Let's just take a look at the stock. So Twitter trading at 33.36 right now. So this is a stock that I was asked to take a look at if it was a good buy. Honestly, it's going to be very volatile, especially through all this court. How long? Who knows how long that's going to take? Could take a year.
Yeah.
Who knows? So there's a number of factors that you need to consider if you want to invest in this stock. Number one, will this stock get bought by Musk? Is it actually going to get bought? Number two, what price will it be bought at? Right now, the offer is for $54.20 a share. So if they force him to sell at that price and you buy Twitter right now, you're going to make some good money. Is the price going to get renegotiated? Which I think is going to happen at the end of all of it, because I don't know if the court's just going to. Well, it depends who the judge is and things like that too. But I think there's a good chance of it going to get renegotiated, because there's things that are going to come out about it, spam accounts, algorithms, etc. If the offer doesn't go through, this is a big one. If the offer doesn't go through, what price will the stock head to?
Yeah, it's true.
Because if all of this information that gets publicly exposed in court, or even if, there's more information or whatever that comes out about Twitter, what price is it going to go to? It's at 33 now. It'll probably be even half of that, possibly. Yeah. Currently, the bet would be, if I buy Twitter at $32 a share or $33 where it's at right now, I'll get $54.20 once Musk takes it private, but that's not 100% certain. There is a chance that the court forces him to buy. So if that does happen, if you buy it now and he takes it private at $54.20 a share, you're going to make some good money on that deal, 30-something%. Twitter is still overvalued, in my opinion, and the cracks are beginning to show in the globe, with the recession, global economy, things like that. We've had 2 straight quarters of a down market, of a negative market, which means that we are officially, or according to the market, we're officially in recession. So Twitter is still overvalued. Cracks are beginning to show, with advertisement sales down due to a slowdown in economic spending. So that's all going to affect it too.
Yeah.
Twitter is not worth what it was worth in April, what it was worth last year. And so I think that there's going to be a good chance for a judge to see that, be like, this was agreed to at a time when the stock market wasn't where it was at, and there's going to be some renegotiation that takes place. All right, continue. Amazon's 2022 Prime Day event is officially began this morning. So that's for everybody. That's a good, that could be too, Jason. Jason says Musk finishes publicly airing out Twitter's dirty laundry, then starts his own platform across Starlink right before it IPOs. And he already owns the domain Pravda, which means truth.
Yes.
As direct competition to Truth Social.
Yes, exactly.
Which I got an account on Truth Social.
Did you?
Yeah, I wanted to secure the handle, just in case it does take off.
There you go. I haven't done anything with Truth Social.
So, yeah, I mean, that could be, too, that he's thinking of starting his own platform. Can you imagine he finishes Twitter off?
And
their
then
stock price is now $8 a share.
Dang,
and then he starts his own. Because he has a huge following on Twitter.
Yeah.
And the only reason Twitter has, to me and a lot of other people that I know, Twitter has value as a news source.
Yes.
It doesn't have any more utility above that. I don't use Twitter to communicate with people.
No.
I use text messages, and every now and then when I open my Instagram, I use Instagram.
once a week, month?
Yeah, but yeah, I don't, a Signal, WhatsApp, whatever else I use for communications. I don't use Twitter for that.
Twitter is like instantaneous news.
Yeah,
it's the
Twitter
fastest place to get stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I have different accounts that I have set for notifications, and I see it immediately.
Yeah.
So that's what I use it for. Continue. This is very interesting. Euro slips closer to parity as Goldman warns the ECB could respond more forcefully to a weak currency. So what this means is the euro and the dollar are pretty much trading at 1-to-1. Something that...
It's crazy.
It is crazy.
Wow. Joe Biden.
First time in 20 years. Let's see it. Which the euro only started in 2000.
Yeah, that's right.
So, it hasn't been that... You think that that's been such a long time. It hasn't
It hasn't
been that
actually
long.
been that long.
No.
Wow.
And I miss the good old Deutschmark.
Well, you can always move back.
Yeah. Continue. As the euro moved even ever closer toward parity on Tuesday, one big Wall Street bank warned that investors may be underestimating the firepower of the bloc's central bank. Pressure resumed on the common currency, Euro USD, that touched as low as 1.001, bringing its losses so far this week to 1.7%. The currency was last changing hands at 1.0056 last Friday. Strong U.S. jobs data that all but cemented another Federal Reserve 0.75 percentage point rate hike has been driving up the dollar, weighing on rival currencies, notably the euro, which this isn't good for tourism in the United States. There's a lot of, there was always more tourism coming out of Europe into the United States when the euro had a much higher value.
Yes.
Because they could get more bang for their
Yep.
euro.
That's what we did coming down from Canada every single summer.
Yeah.
All of us would get a whole new wardrobe because how cheap everything was.
Yeah.
But
so
now it's
with
like
this, if it's at parity,
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter. So
Yep.
tourism from the Eurozone isn't going to be as high if they ever open up Europe anyway. I mean, it's pretty much
it's
open now.
pretty much open.
Weighing on the common currency has been a bet by traders and investors that the European Central Bank won't be able to stop the high inflation or recession that looms, complicated by Russia's war on Ukraine that has driven commodity prices higher. Fears that Russia will cut off natural gas to the region are also weighing on the euro. So really, what they have done with these sanctions is made Russia stronger and Europe weaker.
Weaker. Yep.
So these sanctions have had the opposite effect.
Yes. Which is crazy. Like the ruble is doing at
Phenomenal.
prime.
Yes. Yes.
Amazingly well.
It's just crazy how they can think that sanctions
And then
can
they keep
do
going.
anything.
They
Yeah,
keep going. They don't stop.
Keep going with sanctions. Keep going with sanctions. They do nothing.
Yes. So
Nothing.
Did you see Zelensky just called out Canada and he was like, "Shame on you for helping Russia with Nord Stream." He went after Canada.
Yeah.
Because Canada didn't. They made an exception to a sanction,
Yeah.
and it's like you're doing it for your own sake.
I think we're gonna see more of that.
Oh, yeah.
Especially as winter approaches.
Oh, people are gonna get furious.
I'm not 100% on this, but I think we're gonna see more of it because
Yeah.
what they're saying in Europe now that there might be energy rationing.
Yeah.
That you're only gonna be allowed to turn your heater to a certain point. Mm-hmm. And then just have to wear blankets and a sweater. Are you kidding me?
Are you they're insane. And yeah, actually, Germany's largest what was it? Not landowner.
Yes.
Yes, landlord.
Landlord.
Yes.
Yes.
They were saying that they're going to be doing that.
Yeah.
So it's like it's not even necessarily just the governments that are doing it or going to mandate it. It's going to be like, I think that most of the governments are going to pass it off to people
Yeah.
and be like, you should do this. Like, you really should. And then people will just start doing it so that the government isn't blamed for it.
Yeah. They've really messed this whole thing up. That's right, Henry. Yeah, I remember when I came to the U.S., Bethany just said, I don't know if it was 1.8, I think it was like 1.4 or somewhere like that, 1.3. It was very good.
Really?
Yeah, where I had, every time I would have to pay some college tuition or something like
Yeah.
that, there would be, and I got money sent from Europe, I would get more for what came from Europe. So
Yep.
it was always good. Continue. We can go to the next one. Oil majors face output slump, deep losses if Russia stops Kazakh pipeline. I'll just summarize this one. So there's a conglomerate of companies that are building a pipeline to a Black Sea port through Kazakhstan from Kazakhstan's oil fields. And there's a Russian court that is currently putting a stop to it because of environmental concerns. But that would actually hit 1% of global oil supply.
Really?
So it would decrease global oil supply by 1%. And Chevron, whoever, if anybody's invested in Chevron is actually fairly highly exposed to this project. So this could financially affect them. So keep an eye on that if you are invested in Chevron, ticker symbol CVX, as an energy company. Continue. Jim Cramer, this is from yesterday evening, says the market could see pleasant surprises going forward.
What the heck?
Stop talking.
Duct tape his mouth, please.
Next.
Jeez.
Play the video. Did you have the video of Jim Cramer? Yes.
Oh, no.
Here we go. Let's hear
If
it.
it's the former, we may already be near a bottom.
Well, look, I think we're near a bottom. I think that everyone's cutting their price targets. I think that people are getting their arms around the idea that the quarter's going to be horrible. And then when the quarters come out and the forecast isn't that good, I don't think there'll be that much more downside. I mean, we've been going down since
Somebody needs to tell him to lift his chin up so his head doesn't look so big. Somebody.
So
please.
there you have it. Let's see how much more the market's going to go down.
Dang.
The euro dollar is right now 1.0035, so it's pretty close to parity. With the pound, it's 1.18.
Really?
There's actually another article. I don't know if I sent it in, but Janet Yellen is meeting with the Bank of Japan president to discuss this whole debacle because it's also hurting. The strong dollar is hurting the allies.
Yes.
And it's not hurting the so-called enemies.
Yes.
Ninja says, I should buy Twitter. Well, possibly. Next. Twitter versus Musk, how a $44 billion deal turned into a horror show. We're not going to get into that. Let me get into some stocks to research here. So we already took a look at Twitter. I wouldn't buy Twitter. I think it's too volatile. It would be more of a gamble for me to see, when and where it went through. I would have to see what happens with the court case, what's going to happen moving forward, and then what share price is going to be renegotiated to. But if they do force it, I miss out, but that's fine. So I have another one. I was asked to talk a little bit about silver before, I guess that was Friday a week ago. Not this last Friday, but the Friday a week ago. I was asked to take a look at silver. So silver, there's a couple of ways that you can invest in silver. So Bethany says, can we put Twitter on our Amex? I mean, if it keeps going down in price,
You could.
we probably could. If Twitter hits a market cap of $10,000, I'm buying it.
You're
cash.
buying it.
Silver, SLV. So you can buy it as a silvered, as what they call paper silver, or that you could turn in for physical silver. So that's the iShares Silver Trust. SLV is the ticker symbol. The trust seeks to reflect the performance of the price of silver, has about a 5% return since inception of 2006. So, the precious metals market is highly manipulated. And I'm not saying that as a conspiracy theory, because every year there's some big scandal, price fixing scandal, some scandal, Deutsche Bank, Barclays I think has been involved in it. All sorts of different, COMEX, which is the precious metals, the commodities metals exchange. So there's always a scandal surrounding the price. So there's a lot of price fixing that's going on in the precious metals market. That's why I buy physical silver instead of paper silver. I do own paper silver as more of just like a trade.
Yeah.
I'm not looking at it as as like a, you know, an investment in silver, physical investment in silver. I do have physical silver in an undisclosed location. There could always be a chance that it's going to make another run for it. So, you know, let me look it up. I don't remember what year it was. I remember seeing a Pawn Stars episode where some dude brought in his silver, and I mean, it was, oh yeah, right here.
Oh my gosh.
So almost $50.
If
per
y'all could see the
ounce.
chart, it's like this.
That was
That's
back
crazy.
in 2011. So that must have been when when I
Wow.
saw that episode. But some guy bought his silver for very cheap, and he brought in, I don't know how many. It must have been like 1,000 ounces or something like that. It was a lot.
Wow.
And he got $250,000 for it
Dang.
because they paid him face value for it.
Yep.
So if silver ever gets to a point like that again, you know, it'd be great to invest. Right now, it is trading at around 1750. Where's it at actually? 1897. So it's, you know, and if you buy every month, you sort of like cost average. But if it has a run like that again, it could be a good investment. Now, where do I buy silver? For all those that are interested. Silver, I buy APMEX, American Precious Metals Exchange, and JM Bullion. Sometimes you can't get the silver that you want just because, and sometimes the price of silver, or no, most of the time, the price of silver that you're paying for it, for physical silver on these metals exchanges, isn't the actual price. So instead of me paying the $18, I'm going to end up paying $21 an ounce for my silver
Yep.
because that's the actual price
Right.
that it's going for. Now, if I were to sell it, you know, at a pawn shop, if I were to sell it to, you know, a silver dealer or someone, they would give me face value for it. So they would only give me the $18 for it. So I am paying a premium for physical silver, which you wouldn't pay if you bought paper silver. You wouldn't pay the premium because that's just whatever it's traded at. That's right, Timothy. So SLV, iShares Silver Trust, for those who are invested in silver, and then JM Bullion and APMEX, American Precious Metals Exchange. You can just Google that, JM Bullion and APMEX, and you will be able to pull up the website. You can buy it there, and they usually ship for free if you buy over a certain amount. If you buy over $100, they ship for free to your house. So those are the two that we're going to talk about today, Twitter and SLV Silver. I'm going to have some more. Thanks for everybody who responded to our call for stocks to research. There are a couple that I'm taking a look at personally that I'll bring up, and then there will be some more that I take a look at that you asked me to take a look at. Awesome. Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody. If you haven't made it out to our 40 Days of Glory, make it out. It's been powerful meetings, life-changing meetings at Revival Today Church. So make it a summer trip to Pennsylvania if you haven't already. And then if you'd like to invest in Revival Today, we'll give you an opportunity to do that now. Here are the ways that you can do that. #donate on Facebook. You can go to revivaltoday.com. You can click Give Now, and it'll also give you all those different ways to give. You can also give by cryptocurrency. Scan that QR code right there. For those hodlers who are still holding on to the cryptocurrency. And then you can also send us a check. Revival Today, P.O. Box 7, Prosperity, Pennsylvania 15329. Let's give away a book. Not bad. Little book of sideways markets. We are having a pretty sideways market right now. So we'll send that to you. How to make money in markets that go nowhere. We'll send that to you as a way of saying thank you for investing in Revival Today. Cleveland Cliffs, Matthew said, is a good steel stock. Yes. CLF. I like Cleveland Cliffs. I've invested in them before. I'm not sure if I'm in them right now. I don't think I am. But I did own them at some point. I'm going to take a look at that one too again. I actually drove by their plant, by one of their plants not too long ago. So awesome. Well, that's it for us today. If you haven't filled out the credit union survey, please do so. revivaltoday.com/credit union. If you're interested in joining the credit union, which after we got all these surveys in, we're well on the process to getting that started. Thank you so much, everybody. We'll see you all tomorrow. Go out there and make some money today.